This is the next Unboxed Burrito video. So BinBok sent me this Nintendo Switch like Joy-Con set that they made. So it just comes in this simple red and white box. Then inside we can see this plastic tray. Ooh. And then we get a nice like pastel light blue and light green. And then inside all we have left is a little booklet. It's the welcome guide. How to snap it into the Switch. There's some sort of turbo function on it, vibration adjustment, LED settings, button assignments for the extra rear buttons, something here called color mode, joysticks calibration, a reset button function, and then different warnings. It seems like this thing actually has a lot of features in it. So inside, it's actually a lot bigger than I expected. And then inside comes with a Type-C charge cable. Okay, so my first impression is that this thing is actually really large. This centerpiece here that holds the left and right Joy-Cons is actually really like wide. The left and right hands are a bit too far apart. It feels kind of awkward. So the joysticks feel nice and the click is kind of clicky. Same with all these buttons. It feels just like any other third-party controller. The triggers up here actually feel a lot nicer. The two buttons to release the Joy-Cons, we have an M and T button on the side. The left and right 3 button, 3R and a 3L. So these two buttons to me look like it's a button you can set a function to, and underneath here each individual Joy-Con has their own charging port. Pop these Joy-Cons in to see if they sync up instantly. These are actually pretty nice, comfortable sized handles. And they slide in just as smooth and satisfying as regular Joy-Cons. And you could see there, as soon as I slid them in, the Joy-Cons paired. There's actually a little light ring around the joysticks. It's red on the blue side, and it's light green on the green side. And as soon as these Joy-Cons get paired, you can see it works instantly. So I'm going to assume that the console will start to charge these Joy-Cons, just like the regular ones. Okay, so there's this little flat bottom on the two Joy-Cons here, and this actually allows you to sit the console flat like that. It actually replaces the flippy thing. You can see here, the flip stand isn't even being used because these Joy-Cons make the console stand taller, and it's a lot more delicate and flimsy, but if you don't touch it, the console actually stands very nicely for you to watch the screen. And just like the Joy-Cons, how you have the capture button on the left bottom and you have the home button on the right bottom, these two Joy-Cons follow that same design. If you were to put your console back in your dock, it is actually a lot more sturdy. So the dock is tall enough that the bottom of the handles don't hit the table, but you can see here, it actually does not have any give on the left and right. You can see the handles stick out a lot more here on both sides. It kind of sticks out perfectly so that when you line up the console with your dock, it fits perfectly on the sides, and it actually makes it easier for you to line up the console on the dock. I actually really like this. Yeah, so I already find it way easier to line the console up because once you get it lined up at the top here, you know it can only go straight down and line up perfectly at the bottom. So these Joy-Cons actually make your console a lot more secure when sitting in the dock. Double thumbs up for that feature. Okay, so here you can see the LED ring on the red and green joysticks here. It looks pretty cool glowing in the dark. The controllers work perfectly while connected onto the side of the Switch. Now, because these are wireless Bluetooth controllers, that means you could also pull them out and use the Joy-Cons just like regular Joy-Cons, separate from the console. That's where you can just take this plastic holder, slide it in to make it one sturdy controller. Then you can play just like a pro controller. If you've felt any other third-party controller, this is basically the exact same quality. As for additional features, I'm gonna test out the turbo function. So all you do is hold down the T for turbo, and then you hit the button you want to set to turbo. I'm going to hit B, which is the jump key. You can feel the controller vibrate, and now turbo is set. So I'm not hitting any key, but you can see my character keeps jumping because it is continuously turboing the B button. Yeah, so I don't know how useful that is here in Fortnite. You can turbo any button you want, and it can help you in a variety of different games. So if I set A to the turbo feature, you can see my character is now going crazy, switching between build and pickaxe mode. And then you just hit the same turbo button, A again, to cancel it. And now if you want to assign the rear pad buttons here, that's what the letter M, I guess, stands for memory. Now the thing is, you can only set this key to a button on the left Joy-Con, and then you can only set this to represent a button on the right Joy-Con. So I'm going to hold down M and hit B for jump. And now when I click the bottom here, you can see my character jumps because it has been set to the B button. I'm going to do the same thing, hold down M, hit down on the D-pad, and now the left bumper button is equal to the down D-pad button. So you could just tap it to do your quick emotes, or you can hold it for the emote wheel to pop up. So it is simple to set the rear buttons to whatever key you want on the same joypad controller. You can control the vibration strength as well by holding down T and moving the controller joystick up or down to increase or decrease the vibration. There, you might be able to hear it. The vibration gets a lot louder and stronger. Well, so I do not have any weapons at all, and obviously it's hard to win without any guns. A fun little cool thing you can do with the color LED on the controller is if you press T and you click the joystick in the same time, the color will actually change. So here you can see it's kind of orange now, and now here it's a darker green. So remember, press both the T and joystick, and now here it changes to blue. And then this seems to be a like rainbow. It starts off pink and comes down to blue, and then back to red again. And it works for both joysticks. Here you can see the colors change. I'm going to do it with the light off here, and then you can see all the different colors. And one other thing you can do is if you hold T and you double tap the joystick button, it will change the light pattern. It is automatically cycling through different colors as it's breathing. So I'm going to hold the T button and double click the joystick again, and here it switches to a rainbow mode. Hold T, double click the joystick again, turns off the light, double click the joystick again, switches to breathing mode. So there you can see the joystick slowly breathes. I'm gonna do the same on this side so that you can have this cool, nice, breathable light show happening here. And then here's the rainbow effect on both joysticks. You can just cycle the colors again by tapping both buttons in the same time. So single tap to change static colors, and double tap the joystick, change the light pattern. It says you can press and hold the sync pairing button, then you can hold L1 up and the capture button to enter calibration mode, or hold R1, X, and the home button together to enter calibration mode. And then while in calibration mode, you just put the Joy-Cons into your dock, but don't click them all the way down. Let them sit slightly above, and then the controllers will auto calibrate. Again, you can follow the instructions on the booklet here, same with calibrating the joysticks. There are instructions written in many different languages. And these two little holes here, you can put a pin in to reset the Joy-Cons. And yeah, so that's basically all the extra features that come with these Joy-Cons. I quickly went through the book and that is everything they talk about. You can also hold the T turbo button and hit the minus or plus buttons to change the speed at which the turbo activates. For my final thoughts, I have to say I am quite impressed with the look and functionality of this controller. The middle is a bit wider than I would like, but that's hardly a problem compared to having every other function working. It's really comfortable to grip these Joy-Cons and they're very light. If you have big hands and you find playing on these tiny things for a long time tends to cramp your lower fingers, this nice handle grip can probably help with that. Now, the obvious downside to having these Joy-Cons is if you have a switch case for the regular Joy-Cons, yeah, unfortunately, it's not gonna fit in your case. It's obviously too thick and too wide. So, like, yeah, that is one definite drawback. I guess you technically just have to treat this like it's a full-size Pro controller, because a full-size Pro controller wouldn't fit in any carrying case as well. So you can just carry and transport the controller locked into the centerpiece here. It really did not like me dying there. One last thing to mention is, for whatever reason, if you had to upgrade the controller, like they release a new firmware, you can do that. The Joy-Cons at the bottom have USB-C type inputs, so you can plug them directly into a computer and download the firmware update from their website. And then I'm pretty sure there would be some straightforward process to just update the firmware of the controllers. So that is the end of this review video. Consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribe if you found this video helpful. You can ask me any questions in the comments and I'll try my best to answer them. If you would like to buy these Joy-Cons, you can use my affiliate link in the description. But other than that, thanks for watching.